I want to preface this video by saying this has nothing to do with any superficial thing happening on YouTube. This is quite possibly the biggest change that we will be seeing in years, and unless we speak up about it and warn everybody else, this will become a very real threat very fast. I'm making this video to lay out not only the logic of the FTC, but also to spread the word of the consequences going forward. So far, I have yet to see a majorly big YouTuber talk about this, and I'm afraid they won't be able to until it's too late. So I want to be able to clarify my understanding of the topic now, so I'm able to spread the word before we run out of time. So, to catch everyone up on what's been going on, the FTC sued Google and YouTube back in September for a large sum of money for effectively collecting data from children, which is illegal. They've done this unknowingly through how the algorithm collects data to suggest relevant videos to what the users have looked up. And while YouTube Kids exists as a way to counteract this flaw, kids are still able to lie about their age, and therefore YouTube is still unknowingly collecting data from children who they believe are adults. After being sued, YouTube undertook a massive change that they will begin fully implementing in January 1st, 2020. However, are already implementing it in small chunks and pieces. This comes in two new options when you upload videos. You can either click a box that says your content is for children, or click a box that says your content is not for children. Here's the aftermath of both options. If you tell YouTube that your content is for children, your ad revenue for that video goes down anywhere from 60 to 90%. Users will not be able to engage with that video. They cannot comment, they cannot like or dislike, they cannot see it suggested to them, they cannot look the video up. And personalized ads will be disabled entirely, at least from the research I've done on this topic. The main point is that engagement will be entirely erased in an attempt to get YouTube to stop collecting information from children, which also means these creators will not be able to make any money whatsoever, except for a very small percentage. Say you have $100 and your revenue goes down 90%, you now have $10. Under that pretense, it's logical to assume that you can just click "this video is not for children." However, that results in even worse penalties if the FTC reviews your videos and assumes that you are lying in an attempt to bait children. Before I get into the consequences for that, I want to dive into what they classify as children's content to find out why it's a really bad idea. Their criteria for children's content goes as the following: music, kids' games, videos/computer games, children's TV shows or stars, cartoon characters, sports, stories, toys, fantasy, pets, products primarily for or consumed by kids, like snack foods or cereal. There are many more examples, however the worst of them are animated characters, bold or fast-moving graphics, and bright or vibrant colors. This is their criteria for what defines a video intended for children. This is also over half of every video on YouTube due to the diverse nature of the populace's creativity. This does not just affect toy channels or arts and craft channels. This affects everybody. If they look into your video and see any of those examples demonstrated, you will be fined a proposed $42,000 per video violating this term. The reasoning is that the FTC is under a false assumption that content creators are trying to lure children, when in actuality the truth is content creators are just innocent everyday people who like to make what they wish to create. YouTube is a platform that have given them the tools to create anything they'd like, and now the FTC are operating under a false assumption that creators are distributing information of children themselves instead of the algorithm of the site it's glued onto. Your two options are either have nobody see your video or essentially lose your home depending on your financial status. Neither are worth the risk. Okay, so why did this happen? What happened beforehand to get us into this very tight position now? While I don't think it's good to single-handedly point fingers at YouTube, they are very much responsible for making this issue as big as it is now. YouTube were the ones to really begin pushing family-friendly content all the way back after the first adpocalypse, and have continued pressuring content creators into making child-friendly content in order to make a living off the site. On top of this, they've also been very shadily playing favorites over certain content creators and not others. Logan Paul being a big one and possibly the most prominent one simply due to the suicidal forest stunt back in 2018 in which YouTube didn't respond for over 9 days over the algorithm choosing a dead body on camera to be showcasing on trending. Note that trending is the forefront for what YouTube considers to be family/child-friendly content. It's understandable to see why people were so upset that they wanted the FTC to come in and begin regulating content for children, as it was intended to be renewed for 2023, as it's renewed every year, but instead it decided to be regulated for 2020 instead. However, this lies the other half of the blame on the FTC. The FTC have demonstrated that they are not as concerned with the censorship and well-being of our youth, but rather simply distributing information of children across a global platform. Likewise, their criteria for what classifies as child-intended content is absurdly ridiculous at best. Instead of the intended effect of the internet conforming to the rules and regulations, what will instead happen is everybody will make more mature content and child-friendly content will cease to continue as there is no market for it anymore. This will begin making YouTube strictly for adults, as children will continue to log in to adult accounts, and distributing information will continue to persist whether FTC like it or not. Likewise, however, this will also clash against YouTube's current goals as a mainstream platform, and the sudden urge to make content strictly for adults will clash against the YouTube monetization system. Many people will lose their jobs, many viewers will drop their favorite form of content altogether, and eventually it will kill YouTube and everybody on the platform. There really is no easy way out of it. However, there is a way to potentially prevent this from happening in the first place. The FTC are opening up to arguments and comments to counteract their law. I will link in the description the website you have to go to in order to write your thoughts and to give your perspective. I urge you to please be civil, as it is the only way we will be able to win this battle. If we like these communities we've spent years and years creating, then we need to prove it now by protecting all the content creators who have slaved hours and days to entertain us. The deadline to place comments is December 8th. In the meantime, to my personal audience who may or may not be watching, I am archiving all my videos on 2 sites, BitChute and Vlare. I will still persist on Twitter and Discord, and I will gladly upload future content on those other 2 streaming platforms. However, until we know what will be happening to YouTube, I don't intend on uploading any more to it outside of a couple planned videos. Please spread awareness and save our internet. Have a nice day.